The film Nanook of the North deceived me. What I once thought was a remarkable piece of media that accurately documents the indigenous Inuit people turned out to be a somewhat work of fiction. Watching Nanook Revisited revealed a lot of fallacies during the making of the 1922 film. The director of the film, Robert Flaherty, embarked on a journey and fully immersed himself in the bleak setting of northern Quebec, Canada. I think, going in, you should understand that Nanook of the North is a silent film, not a documentary. It can be really misleading watching it through the lens of an informative piece of media, but it's entertainment. Scenes are skewed to feel optimistic and wholesome, and there are some purposeful comedic moments and scenes. However, the documentary that came out in 1988, Nanook Revisited, feels like a chance to get it right, to film a real documentary by accurately portraying the Inuit people, dismissing any preconceived notions and stereotypes of Native Americans. The 1988 documentary opens with the camera panning across Inuit locals. They are watching 1922's Nanook of the North, and they're laughing. And I think it's because they know it's a work of fiction. I mean, from a Western point of view, we would see it as real life. We assume it's a documentary and we assume that everything is being portrayed accurately. But it would be as if we took Charlie Chaplin seriously and saw that as a documentary. It's not. It's an entertainment. It's meant to entertain. It's meant to give the viewer a story. And that's exactly what Nanook of the North was set out to do. Appeal to Western audiences with preconceived ideas of how they lived. For example, director Flaherty didn't have the family use rifles. Even though that's what they would have used, he didn't want to film that, because that was a white man tool. Flaherty never showed the tough conditions that the family went through, but rather painted the film as a fun family adventure. The igloo? That was staged. It was cut in half for filming purposes. Certain scenes like fishing? That was staged. Crew members were on the other side pulling it. The clothes were not authentic. Flaherty brought in his wives, yes, more than one, as actresses. The children weren't actually Nanooks, and Nanook was a fake name. It was a film for white people made by a white man.
Nanook seemed to suit the whites better. In fact, his real name was Alakarialuk.
As you notice, he's wearing polar bear skin pants. People didn't wear polar bear skin pants around here. I think that the image, the southern image of Inuk in the 20s, was somebody running around in polar bear skin pants. Robert doctored this particular scene so that the image would fit the imagination.
Flaherty had complete control and knew exactly what he wanted to show to an American audience. Nanook Revisited was a critique of the silent film, but it didn't do it in such a way that had a pessimistic tone and felt like it was uncovering a scandalous story. Instead, it operated as a resource to clear up confusion and better understand the controversy of Nanook of the North. The documentary was informative, so audiences could go in and watch Nanook of the North through a different lens. Because it's not a bad movie. I mean, it's well made, well shot, and masterfully directed. But knowing the full story will further help appreciate the film in a different way, as a piece of entertainment and not as an informative documentary. In fact, documentary wasn't even a genre yet in 1922. I think it's a good idea to know what type of media you are watching and how to consume it. That way you don't feel lied to, get the wrong impression, or even feel deceived.